Hi, welcome back to Christine's Home Affairs.
I'm here again.
Yeah, Mum's back with us again. I've actually managed to get 2 videos out of Mum in one day. We did the key fobs in the last video. Just now we finished our pocket tissue pouches. I've done many of these over the recent months. I think this is going to be number 4. Now, Roberta sent me an email yesterday and suggested this pocket tissue pouch that's got a pocket in the back for hand sanitizer or your lipstick or chapstick. So what we're doing today is a slightly different pocket tissue pouch. It's got a curved edge at the front opening here, and on the back we've got a pocket that has got enough room in it to be able to hold lipstick, your hand sanitizer, or even the hand cream.
And you can hang it on to your bag.
Exactly. So that's what we're doing today, making another pocket tissue pouch. This one's a little bit different with the extra pocket in there, but you can never have too many, right?
Right?
Yes,
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, we've already made this. Now you get to come and see how we've made it.
Exactly, yeah.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
All right, this next project is going to hopefully be easy.
I hope so, with no mistakes.
Oh, let's hope not. Okay, so we have a few pieces here. Mum and I are each going to make one of these tissue holders. This is our contrast fabric for the back pocket. These 2 pieces here will be the fold over at the front, and this is our lining piece. And then we also have a piece of fabric that's going to be our tab for our swivel clip. The measurements will be up on the screen now. All right, what shall we start with? First of all, what we can do is set aside the lining and our pocket piece. We don't need the swivel at the moment. We can take our little tab section and we're going to fold this in half at long ways, and then we'll fold the raw edges into the centre and fold that in again. So that's the tab for our little swivel clip. When we go to the machine, we'll sew down both long edges. We can take these 2 pieces now, and we're going to sew the longer edge together. So the 6 1/4 inches, we're going to put those edges together, and we'll place those right side together. Which is the right side? Oh, that one. And for today's project, we're going to be using a 1/4 inch or 6 mm seam allowance. Let's sew up the long edge here and both edges of our tabs.
Okay, so we go to the machine.
Yes. All right, so we've sewn that together. What you can do then is finger press the seams open and then go and give it a press so that they sit nice and flat. Then we can take our big piece of contrast fabric. This will be our pocket fabric on the back. We want to have the top edge here and fold it over twice. So this will be the top edge, and I'm going to do 2 folds that are 1/4 inch each, or 6 mm. And it's only rough. This is actually a little bit bigger. So if you really need to measure it, you can, but otherwise we're just going to do a double fold. There's no hard and fast rule that says it has to be 1/4 inch. In fact, this one will end up being nearly 1 centimetre, which is about 3/8 inch. Once you've done your fold, take this back to the machine and we can just sew that fold in place all the way down the long edge.
Okay.
All right, now that we've done our pocket piece, we can take our 2 other pieces here, place the short edge of your pocket piece onto the short edge of one side of your other fabric, and then the other short edge is going to be placed on the other side of the fabric. And when you've done that, you're going to have a big overhang here. This is what's going to form your pocket later on. So with the overhang, just bring the fabric together until you get to the center position of your fabric. And you'll have this flap hanging over here. All you need to do is bring the fabric edges together and push down so that you have a pleat at the bottom here. And that doesn't matter what happens at the top here, you've just got a very tiny pleat on the bottom edge here. The fold is probably only about 1/4 of an inch. So there's no right or wrong way of doing this. You can bring the fabric together and then just push that fold over to one side, or you can bring it together, push it down so that it sits nice and evenly in the center. We'll go back to the machine now. We're going to sew down the 2 short edges, then we're going to stitch the long edge in place.
Okay, 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
You do reverse.
Yep. And now we'll sew right along the bottom edge. Now that we have these pieces together, we need to create some curves onto our lining fabric. It doesn't really matter whether you mark the curves on this fabric or the lining, but this one's easier to see. So grab your lining fabric, place that right side down, and I have a plate here. So with the plate, this one here is about 8.5 inches across. Just use whatever you can find. And this one here, I'm lining up the outside edge along here, and I mark an outline on the fabric. Do the same for the other side. And once you've done that, place your fabric with the right side faced up and your lining piece faced down over the top, and pin those side edges together.
That side okay.
Okay. So now that that's been pinned together, we're going to sew right over that curved line. You want to reduce your stitch length here, so I would probably say about 1.5, and that will give you much tighter stitches as you're going around the curve. So go nice and slowly and we'll sew that curve.
Okay.
So stitch length of 1.6 is perfectly fine. All right, we've sewn the curves in. What we need to do is cut off this excess fabric on the inside of the curve, and then we need to clip into the edges without cutting through the stitching line. Do you have pinking shears,
Yes,
Mum?
I do.
Do you like using them?
No, they're too heavy.
Stiff? Yeah, I don't like them at all.
No.
So this is my pinking blade. So I just will go and cut really close to the curve. It may be a little bit difficult because there's a bit of bulk in the fabric on the edge there. The other alternative is just to cut your fabric. If you don't have enough strength when there's a few layers like this, it's much easier to go and use pinking shears or scissors. Once you've cut the curve or clip into the curve, this will help when you turn your fabric the right way out. It'll help your curve to sit better.
Got it. Close it. And what? Right on it. There you go.
So that will relax the edges of the fabric and make it much easier to turn the right way out. I think I would probably still go and clip into the curves here because there's too much of a seam there. Sorry. So whilst Mum's doing that and just making me cringe, leaving her blade open, turn this fabric the right way out and press the fabric so that it sits nicely when you turn everything around and have it sitting flat. So you want to have a nice curve on your fabric. Okay, now that those edges have been clipped together and that's sitting nice and flat, you're going to have a really nice curved edge. We can go along and top stitch around those two curved edges.
Okay.
And you can increase your stitch length back to what it was.
Okay.
All right, we've got our top stitching finished on our fabric now. And you may notice that the orientation of the fabric between Mum and I is slightly different. That's because we had to go and do this all over again because I cut something wrong. But
No comment.
But you did have the correct measurements on the screen earlier. Now what we're going to do is take our tab fabric and our swivel clip and place that on the top of the fabric on the centre where the two pieces of fabric meet. We will quickly go and just stitch that in place now. Okay, now we need to put this together. So what we're going to do now is with this corner of the fabric here and this one, we're going to bring them in 2 1/4 inches, which is about 5.5 centimetres. So if you fold that over, line up this corner edge of your fabric 2 1/4 inches or 5.5 centimetres from the outside edge. And repeat at the top. And then we'll overlap the other side the same amount. So from this corner here to the side, we want 2 1/4 inches or 5.5 centimetres. And we're going to be doing French seams for this, so that's why we've got this the right side facing out. Along the top edge, we're going to sew close to the edge. So rather than 1/4 inch, you might want to go a little bit less. It really doesn't matter. We can trim it up and straighten the edges. So let's go and sew the bottom edges right across there. We've done the top and bottom edges now, and we need to now turn this inside out.
You want to climb it off?
Oh yeah, thank you. Completely forgot. That's why I got the scissors and I forgot.
You forgot. You're so lucky you got me.
Oh yeah, sure, I am. Okay, before we turn this inside out, we're going to trim this really close to the stitching line, probably about 1/8 inch or 2 to 3 millimetres at both ends. And then we can turn this inside out. And poke out your corners gently. And once you're happy with that, take this back to the machine and we'll sew 1/4 inch seam all the way across, and you want to cover those raw edges from the other side of the fabric. Okay, so we can now take this back to the machine and sew 1/4 inch from that top edge and the bottom edge, just double checking that you are actually enclosing those raw edges from the French seams underneath. So one thing I did forget to mention is this swivel clip. When you're sewing the side together, make sure that that clip is well within the bag area and not anywhere at the top edge where you're going to be sewing. Mum's already turned hers the right way out and filled it up with her tissues. So all you need to do now is turn this the right way out, neaten up your corners and everything. How does it look, Mum?
I don't know. You're the master here. What about the back?
Yep. If you grab a hand cream or a chapstick over there. So let's pop our tissues in there. If you're sewing to sell, you'll want to keep your packets of tissues closed. If you're making this for yourself or a gift, I guess, you could just open the tissues up and remove the plastic packaging and just put the tissues to the inside. So there we have it.
Very nice.
Another pocket tissue holder, this one with a difference.
Yeah.
Put your chapstick in the back there, and there's even room to put your hand sanitizer. Can we fit my hand cream in there? Of course we can.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Plenty of room.
Very good.
I suppose you want your tissue packet back now?
No, you can have it. I have another one in the car.
I have 30 in the shop. So there you go. Pocket tissue pouch with a pocket in the back. It wasn't without problems. I had actually cut the fabric all the wrong size again because I like to just go like a bull at a gate with these projects and not even bother with measurements. But you were given the correct measurements at the beginning of the video.
Yeah.
So the other one that we made was big enough for elephants' tissues. This one here is for humans.
And we didn't have any, so we had to do it again. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't make elephant-sized tissues. So, yeah, it's not a bad little project. As far as sewing to sell, I'd probably prefer to keep it simple because making the curves is a little bit of extra work. I like the 2 pieces of fabric at the front, so I would happily do that again. But the other one that we did that had the contrast fabric at the front that I did a couple of weeks ago, I reckon that with the 2 pieces of fabric and straight down. I'll pop a link down there so that you know what I'm talking about. But you can adapt any one of those other pocket tissue pouches to have a pocket on the back. All you need to do is add an extra inch of fabric for the width and have a hem folded over at the back. So it's a really easy way to add a pocket.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah. Okay. By the time you've seen this video and the key fobs, Mum will have well and truly...
I'll be back in Melbourne now.
Yeah, Mum will have been home for a couple of days at least. It takes me a while to edit these videos. So thanks for hanging around with us again.
That's okay. I like to hang around with all of you and do new things and learn stuff when I get stuff to take home too.
She does. She gets lots of freebies as well.
Yes.
So
I got a lot of free fabric again.
You don't come up for me. You come up for the fabric.
Exactly.
and of course I had to make some mats to cover her heat press.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mum didn't want to do it herself. Of course, I've got to do that.
Yeah, why not?
And we're wearing the same T-shirts as we did in the other video because we're
chooks.
We're all chooks. That's fine. We'll see what happens. We forgot to put our microphones on. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we maybe have to do it again.
Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope you've enjoyed Mum visiting again. I know you guys love it, so I always get a lot of comments when Mum visits.
Yeah, I love it to do that. So I never thought I'm going to do something like that, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt at all. So next
No.
time you've got to be brave and go to the fabric warehouses and ask for free fabric because it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt, but I tried once and I was too late to pick it up, so
You missed out.
I missed out.
Yeah.
But I can come here and get all the free fabric, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I'll do all the hard work.
Exactly.
Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this video and we shall catch you next time. Bye for now.
Okay, bye. Bye.